Hey, YouTube decided to cooperate. The tubes are all clear. There's video on the screen. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. And even more importantly, welcome to Mixology March. The month where we do cocktails all month long. Episode, what are we on? 423. Brought to you by Meter. More on them later in the video. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rett.
There you go. I know, different cadence. I could see you ready to jump in with it. And
I was clicking links. I was doing all this. My brain was off. I heard your call, and my response was not there.
There you go. Oh, welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk home lab, we talk all things enterprise, consumer, gaming, whatever else we're interested in the world of tech. Always a great show. If this is your first time watching, thank you so much. We do drink alcohol on the show, obviously, this month being Mixology March. And if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, cocktail or not, beer or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shout-outs as we go along. Last but not least, there we go. If you'd like to take part in the super secret chat or the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server, where you can chat with myself, Rett, Tom, Cheese, Vince, Matt. There's lots of people. We've had a good range of hosts over the last couple of months, and obviously the awesome community that hangs out over there. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Rett. Happy Mixology March to you.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I gotta make some people in chat feel a little bit better, because some people are saying, "Oh no, it's Mixology March. Does that mean I have to make a cocktail? What am I gonna do?" And guys, I'm right there with you.
You're gonna be lazy with the rest of them
tonight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna bring down the commitment level of tonight's stream. I'd even talked about, well, I could just drink some scotch neat. Yeah. You know, it's not a cocktail, but I wanted a beer. So,
you know what? We don't discriminate on here. And so,
exactly.
like I said, cocktail or not, beer or not, alcoholic or not, let us know what you're drinking, because that's always fun. So I guess we'll go with you. What are you drinking tonight?
I got something a little different. I don't know. I've never had it, but it is a Terra beer, all the way from South Korea. Jeff, if you remember, when you or I were in Taiwan, my spouse was just getting back from a trip to South Korea.
Yes, I do remember that.
And of course, the gals were, they hit up some bars and some different things, and the beer that they landed on time and time again was this Terra beer from AGM. It is 100% real carbonated beer. Come on, there you go. Oh, my blurry background doesn't want to cooperate. 100% real carbonated beer, it says, which I think is charming.
Yeah, I like that.
So, we're gonna see.
All right, we're gonna get things started this month. The way I like to start every cocktail month, and that is with an old-fashioned, but this time with a twist. I was watching YouTube shorts. I don't remember exactly who it was that I saw, but it was some cocktail channel that I had never seen before. And he gave me a deliciously evil idea. And so I'll explain that in a second. But we're going to make it an old-fashioned. For that, I like a rye whiskey. I always prefer rye. It's a little punchier, a little spicier than bourbon, and bourbon's just a little bit too sweet, I think, for this drink in general. But whatever, it's an old-fashioned, enjoy it the way you like. We are going with Cascade Range Broken Top Whiskey. This is a distilled in Sisters, Oregon, so fairly local to us, on the road out to Bend. This is their Ridgeline Rye. It's an 88 proof, a blend of straight rye whiskeys, which is a weird way of saying a blended whiskey, but a rye whiskey. So we're going to do 2.5 ounces of that into our little stirring glass here. And sorry, I don't have a second camera. It's so much of a pain to set up a second camera.
He doesn't even want to put in the work for mixology marks either, guys.
I don't. And I'm ashamed to say I didn't do any B-roll of my first cocktail that's coming out tomorrow on the main channel, but we're doing, stainless steel on both, so it's not really a show anyway. I don't know where my crystal mixing glass went. It's missing. I don't know. We're gonna do. We'll do about 3 dashes of our Angostura bitters. I'm gonna add a little shot of Peychaud's bitters because I want the bitters punched up a little bit, and this is why here in a second. So I'm gonna do a couple of dashes of Peychaud's as well. The simple syrup. This is where we get a little evil. So this guy gets on YouTube Shorts, and he goes, "Hey, if you like stouts and coffee, then you'll probably like this drink." And he held up an old fashioned, and I went, "Ooh, what are you gonna do? Toss coffee liqueur in there? Ooh." And he goes, "So first up, take a can of Guinness and reduce it on the stove for 20 minutes.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Make your simple syrup from that."
And
I used a Bourbon County Stout.
Nice. It almost feels sacrilegious, but let's see how it
feels It felt sacrilegious, but oh my god, it smelled so good when I was doing this. So I got this up to about 185 Fahrenheit, about 85 Celsius or so, and I let it simmer there for about 15 minutes. And then I added 1.5 times some turbinado sugar. The smell on this,
it looks good.
It is so.
It almost looks like something you want to glaze like some ribs or something in. You know
it would be incredible for that.
It looks like
a little salt and garlic in here as well. You could easily transform this into a marinade or a glaze. But this is a Bourbon County Stout Reduction Simple Syrup. It's a 2025 Bourbon County Stout.
All right.
Which is awesome because they make those in the 10.5 ounce bottles now, or the 10 ounce bottles, little stubbies.
Oh, okay.
So this didn't cost me $35 to make either. It cost me about $7.50, I think is what it ended up being for one of those little stubbies. So we're going to do a little over a half, but a little less than 3/4 because this is a pretty potent syrup. So we'll call it 2/3 of an ounce of simple syrup. There we go. We're going to give that a stir. Sorry for the audio in advance.
Can't hear anything on my end.
Yeah, Zoom's got some pretty good noise reduction. This microphone is, other than that, unfiltered going out to YouTube. So
you know those toys, the automaton?
Oh yeah,
they're like the yellow guys.
Yeah.
I was doing a podcast once, and I thought it would be really funny to use an automaton live in the recording, but we were recording it over Zoom.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, that's a cute toy you're holding up." And dude, it took literally the entire episode until I realized they couldn't hear it. Zoom heard the automaton making music.
Yeah.
And then just filtered it out.
So we got our Craft Computing Rocks glass here. And
that's the same one I've seen on craftcomputing.store.
That's right. And as you can see, a super rich, dark amber color. And it is nearly completely opaque. I cannot see.
It looks like a glass of Coke, honestly.
Yeah. It's around that same color, maybe a hair lighter, but way denser. It's a half tone lighter in color, but very similar to a watered down Pepsi kind of color.
Let's see what it does.
Okay. We're also going to add a bourbon-aged Bada Bing cherry, also grown right here in Oregon.
Green has a $5 super chat that I think has to be read while you're doing this. He says, "Took the alcohol out of the beer. then put the beer back into the alcohol.
Precisely.
It is kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yep. And then we're also going to do a little swath of orange here. So let's see if I can get into this one. There we go. I have mutilated this orange over the last 3 or 4 or 5 days, making different cocktails in preparation for this month. So this is a well-loved orange that will need to be eaten tomorrow. But we'll spritz the oil. Move that around the top. Give that a nice little fancy twist. Drop it on in. And that is a Bourbon County Stout Reduction Simple Syrup Old Fashioned. Happy Mixology March, everyone. And I did see early on, Skull, one of our long time moderators, hey all, Old Glory Pinup Barrel Aged Gin, yum, Negroni for me to start off Mixology March. Happy coincidence, my next drink is a Negroni, so we're gonna go tit for tat on that one. Rev is having a Rittenhouse Rye Private Single Barrel. Oh my gosh. Bottled and Bond Rye Old Fashioned made with blood orange. Oh, my friend. Fantastic choice. You can see the mods are really into Mixology March with me. I got another super chat from Jay. $2. Thank you so much. This is going to be a much happier show, I can tell. Did you watch the show last week? Right?
I caught a little bit of it, but no, I didn't watch the whole thing.
So, oh my god. Sorry. I forgot how good this is. Yeah, for the last 6 weeks, I don't think we talked about a positive story.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough, right?
It's been a rough patch, right? And so the last show that you were on, remember I started off and said, it's going to be a great show. We're talking about this. Ooh, that's not so great. Ooh, we're talking about this. That sucks too. Oh, you can join the Discord. Ah, crap, that's controversial now too.
Nah.
We had nothing to talk about that was good, and I was looking at news for the next show, and it was all garbage as well. Like, it was more RAM shortage, more AI, more data centers, more water being boiled off, like everything that goes with that conversation, plus the economy sucks, plus we're going to war, plus blah, blah, blah. It's like, is there anything that we can talk about that's halfway positive? And so I challenged Tom, and he goes, oh, sure, I'll get some positive stories. We started the show, and neither of us had anything. And so we went, screw it, ask us anything else.
Nice.
This week's a little more positive. I mean, there's still a whole bunch of crap we got to sift through, but Apple came out with a new laptop, a budget laptop. Apple is now the budget premium laptop manufacturer in a time where shortages are jacking up everyone else's prices. It is such upside down world. Not only that, but Apple answering the consumer call for a less expensive device. Are you kidding me?
Seriously. The world is upside down.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, every car manufacturer is shooting for nothing but luxury buyers, and Apple, of all people, is digging the bottom of the barrel making Chromebook competitors. Like,
I mean, all you got to do right now, though, if you're in that boardroom, is just be like, guys, what if we bundled the stands with the monitors at a reasonable price?
It's what, another $4 on aluminum? Like, come on.
No, that's too much. We can't do that. Let's just give them a good budget tier laptop instead.
You know what? What if we gave them the option to choose either the aluminum feet or the wheels, and we charge the same price for either? Like, I know we have to add the bearings, okay?
I don't know. It's exciting times.
Oh, wow.
Good, huh?
That stout is in there.
How does it play with like the what you would expect with like a regular old fashioned?
A regular old fashioned, like I said, I much prefer a rye whiskey. I much like bourbons. You get green apple, and then you just sweeten them, and no matter how many bitters you add, it's not like punching up any non-sweet flavors. And so a lot of times, like a bourbon old fashioned will end up tasting almost like an apple pie, versus spicy caramel, woody, on top of cinnamon and things like that. So this one with the Bourbon County syrup, I will say it dulls out a lot, and I mean a lot, of that rye spiciness that I really like.
Yeah, okay.
But Rogue, may they rest in peace, made, because they were a brewery and a distillery, they made all their own whiskey, all their own beer and whatnot. They would constantly do barrel-aged stouts, so stouts aged in their whiskey barrels.
Yeah.
But then after they ran those, they can't use those barrels again for that process. So they would take some of their whiskey and age it in the barrels that aged their stouts, that aged their whiskey, that aged their stouts. And so you ended up with a stout finished whiskey. And while it was really expensive for what it was like $100 a bottle,
Yeah.
it was pretty darn solid. And you got still some of the notes of that rye, but you got like this back sweetness and a little coffee and a little chocolate and whatnot integrated into your whiskey. This is like that, but like twice as good. Like the Rogue whiskeys were always a bit harsh. Like
Yeah.
they were one of those distilleries that always tried to fool time with like special aging techniques and things like that, and you just can't fool that mellowing period, especially pre 4 or 5 years. And so while it was like a really good flavor, it always was a little bit harsh. This is like a really phenomenal rye whiskey. The Cascade Broken Top is amazing. So I'm getting that cinnamon, that allspice, that little bit of a bite right up front. But the syrup is mellowing it out quite a bit. Like it's still there, but it's dulled to like a 7, I would say.
Yeah.
But then on the back end, I'm getting that coffee, and I'm getting that super rich caramel and dark chocolate that the 25 bourbon stout had. And it's almost chewy, like it's so dark. With a lot of like pastry stouts and whatnot, you'll take a drink and you finish going, because it feels like you need to chew the brownie that's in your mouth. This has almost that same kind of effect. It's such a rich flavor. I feel like there should be some substance to it that I need to chew.
Sounds pretty good.
Man, that turned out well. And like I said, because the BCS bottles come in 4 packs of stubbies now for $30, that only cost me $7.50 plus the turbinado sugar.
Perfect.
I will say something incredible that I did not expect. Because usually what I will do to make like turbinado syrup or demerara, like a rich dark syrup, is you get the water up to about, like I said, about the 185 that I simmered the stout at. But then once you pour the sugar in, it takes like 5 minutes at that heat, constant stirring, to dissolve all those little crystals. The Bourbon County Stout ate that sugar in less than 30 seconds.
Wow.
Like I made the reduction, and then I added the sugar, and it literally vaporized. I have never seen the sugar react that quickly or melt that quickly and dissipate than it did in that syrup.
Well, sounds like an experiment gone horribly right.
Mm-hmm. The one Kia says, have you tried your Canar or your blood wine recently? They are both still on the shelf. Where'd the blood wine go? Oh, yeah. Blood wine's up there. I still have the blood wine. I only bought one blood wine, but I did buy 2 Canars. The Canar was good. I'm not going to say it was great. It was good for the specialty wine that it was. And I really bought it for the bottle, because that bottle is freaking incredible. In fact, the empty Canar bottle is still sitting on my bar top, just because it looks pretty. But it wasn't worth the, $80 a bottle or something like that I paid for those. It was expensive. I've heard the blood wine is a little bit better, but it's just a Pinot Noir. And it's not a real expensive one. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Jay, $5. I almost love the MacBook Neo, but 8 gigabytes of RAM? Tim, you're effing killing me. I will never recover. But at least I'm not dramatic about it. Let's talk about the MacBook. Apple launches the MacBook Neo, a line of laptops not using their M series processors that they have on all their PCs thus far, but instead using the Apple Bionic A18 or the Apple A18 processor. And basically it's the same processor that they used in the iPhone 16 last year. It's very much a mobile phone processor, but it is faster than the MacBook M1 from late 2020. And honestly, CPU-wise, that laptop still holds up today. Multi-threaded, this is a 6-core versus the M1, the original M-series MacBook, was an 8-core. These two devices essentially tie on multi-threaded speed. But the A18 is somewhere between 30 and 70% faster in single-threaded tasks, depending on the workload, than the M1 was. So it's a little bit snappier and about the same multi-threaded performance as the M1. I was still using the M1 last spring. The only reason I bought a new laptop is we were heading to Taipei, and I was going to need to do some serious video editing while I was over there. And so I bought a base model M4 MacBook Air, and it's been fantastic. It was a fantastic upgrade. But for daily driving tasks, the M1 was still all I needed. Still with only 8 gigabytes of memory. I had the base model MacBook Pro in the M1. It's got plenty of processing power, and a lot of people are going to balk at the 8 gigabytes of memory. Okay? Let me tell you what I'm doing right now. I have Chrome with probably about 35 tabs open in other windows.
Jesus.
I have Firefox. I have OBS Studio, which is encoding this live stream and broadcasting it to you all. I've got the Zoom call in the background, and that's how Rett and I are talking. I've got Zoom. I've got Discord. I've got... What else is running? Obviously, Mac OS itself. I have a whole bunch of system tray tasks, from a screen snap utility to... I have iStat menus running up there because I'm a PC nut and I love seeing all the stats and memory allocation and things like that. This is a 16 gigabyte M4 Mac Mini base model. I am using 5.5 gigs
Wow. And he's mining for Bitcoin and you know.
Yeah. I'm using more than that. I was thinking 8 gigabyte. No, this is 16. I am using about 12 gigs of memory. I have 3.9 gigabytes free. And that's lots of multitasking. If you are someone who uses their laptop to access your web browser or your email or run one application at a time, and honestly, on a laptop, that's what most people do. Most people, I mean, I've got a 34-inch ultra wide to hold all of these up and open at the same time. But honestly, outside of video editing, 8 gigs was still enough on my MacBook Pro. SSD swap space is a thing. Yes, things are going to run a little bit slower if you're using a lot of swap space. I did watch a brief introduction of the MacBook Neo by MKBHD, Marquise Brownlee over there. And he took words right out of my mouth in his intro. If you're the kind of person who thinks they might need more than 8 gigabytes of memory, this product isn't for you. If you're the kind of person who says, oh, it's only as fast as an M1, this product isn't for you. If you're a person who is a content creator or a, seasoned professional that is using this for, this product isn't for you. This is an entry-level device. If you're the kind of person who uses a Chromebook or an iPad or runs everything on your phone, or just needs to access a web browser.
Maybe you're a freshman in college.
Maybe Maybe you're, shocker, not a gamer. Maybe you're not,
No, those don't exist.
Right. Maybe you just need this to type up papers or buy things on Amazon, or you want something on your lap that's a little comfortable. You like the multitasking ability of Mac OS. You don't really like iPad. Hey, cool. This is a traditional compute experience. Guess what? This might be for those people.
I mean, it seems like a great price point. You can't beat that right now.
$599 for a full metal, and from all the first impressions that I've seen, built just as well as every other MacBook that has always started over $1,000. The original white MacBook was garbage, and everyone agrees with that. But as soon as they went full unibody aluminum construction on all of their laptops, Apple has been the only brand with, I think, top-tier manufacturing. Everyone else probably gets a B+, because you're cutting corners somewhere. Maybe Razer is up there with them as far as fit, finish, longevity.
Really?
Because Razer uses a very similar process. They're using unibody aluminum construction, all-metal laptops, etc., etc. Most of the all-metal laptops that I've touched, from the LG Gram, which is supposed to be their thin and light, or the Asus has some ZenBooks that are incredibly thin. There's always some plastic components on them that just feel cheap. Somewhere, whether it's the bezel around the screen, or the hinge covers, or there's always some component that feels $500 less expensive than that laptop was. Since Apple went full unibody, Apple has been the creme de la creme of laptop manufacturing. And from what I understand, this is every bit of that.
I mean, that's exciting. And it's needed in this market right now. It couldn't have come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Yeah, precisely. No, this could not have entered the market at a better time. Honestly, if I didn't need to edit videos, I'd probably go with one of these. And that's me. Like, video editing is the only thing I think that will be a problem, even in my workflow. It doesn't have 16 gigs of memory. Mac OS is downright magic when it comes to swap file utilization.
That's what Beasley said in chat. He said, he goes, yeah, well, it's not running Windows 11, so 8 gigs of memory should be enough for most basic tasks.
Right.
I've seen Windows 11 use 8 gigs by itself.
Yeah, no, I have booted up brand new PCs with 7.9 gigs of utilization in Windows 11. Brand new PCs.
Well, it's kind of like what they were saying on the PC World show the other day. Were they saying this? Maybe I saw a short from the PC World guys where they're just saying, like, you know, you build up your computer and you got this, you got all the fastest parts in it, and you boot up Windows and it's like, this ain't snappy, this ain't fast. What am I doing? And that's Windows right now.
Yeah.
That's why nobody wants to use it. That's why you switched to Linux for so long. That's why you're on a Mac right now.
Precisely.
It's just bonkers. I mean, it's like, you know, I keep saying to myself, well, you know, I got everything locked and loaded on Windows, and I play games.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I gotta stick on Windows. But, like, also, I play a lot of games on my Steam Deck, which isn't Windows.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, I don't know.
I asked my wife today, not in prep to buy her one of these MacBooks, although I did consider it, and luckily my daughter doesn't watch the show, but my daughter's going into high school this next year. Probably she's going to get one of these MacBooks, because she's still rocking. Oh no, 8 gigs isn't enough. She's still rocking a 2016 MacBook Air, I think with 4 gigs of memory, a dual core i5, so 2 core, 2 thread, i5 Intel low volt CPU with 4 gigs of memory. She's running Chrome, she's checking her email, she's writing up documents, she's chatting with friends on Facebook and FaceTime. It works just fine for her. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, you know what they say, whenever a young person finally needs to upgrade from 4 gigs of RAM, that's when you have a problem. So
yeah. Yep. And Jay says, well, if he needs 16 gigs of RAM, just charge me more. Sold. Well, the problem is an extra 16 gigs of RAM is probably $100 at this point. And they're probably not going to do that on the base model, because Apple being Apple, there's 2 models of this available. There's only 2 models, by the way. There is the base model at $599 with the A18 processor, 8 gigabytes of memory, 256 gigabytes of storage, and 2 USB-C ports. There's also the $699 model, which includes 512 gigabytes of storage and Touch ID on the keyboard, so you can do the fingerprint reader.
Lame.
There's no memory upgrade. There's no storage upgrade beyond that. Like, those are your 2 options. The reason being is as recently as a couple months ago, they were selling their MacBook Air M4 for $849. Prices had dropped so much, you could walk into Costco, as I did a year ago, and buy an M4 MacBook Air with 16 gigs of memory, 256 gigs of storage, and running that M4 for $849. So it doesn't make sense to add another $100 just in memory cost to a $700 laptop to get it to $800 when for the last year there's been a competitor $50 more, which is twice of everything. But I'm excited for this, and I think, look, we as tech people, it's really easy to, well, that would never work for me.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's bad. And I mean, you know me, I harp all the time on, maybe this product isn't for you. And that's okay. Yeah. It probably is for someone else. I've got a video coming out tomorrow of a product that is probably not for everyone, but there's a niche community that is going to love this product and love the price. Even though it's got some things that I think are way too expensive. I don't want to spoil anything about tomorrow's video because it's a fun video. But I don't like the CPU choice, and you only get one CPU choice, and you only get one graphics card choice. And even though it's using a standard graphics card, it's not really upgradable or expandable because of the way they implemented it. And there's just things about it that I don't like. However, the price is freaking amazing for the hardware that you get. So watch tomorrow's video.
You hear that, folks? Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think it's cool. I think it's well timed.
Yeah.
Feels like a good, I don't know, return to form for Apple. We'll see.
This is new form for Apple. Apple's never been in a budget position before.
Well, I guess you're right. I guess I was thinking more along the lines of the type of product that, for some reason, I had like the G1 Macintoshes like locked in my brain for some reason as being like the kind of like de facto home PC or whatever for a long time. It's like everybody seemed to have one at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know how much those cost, so I don't know why I said anything.
Are you talking the old bubble iMacs, the G3s?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, G3s. I said G1.
The G3
iMacs. Yeah.
There was a period in time where a lot of people had those. The iMac debuted as like the fun new product. It was one of Steve Jobs' first things that he introduced in his return to Apple in, what was that, 97, 98, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And gosh, I want to say they started at like $1,300.
Oh, okay.
Like, and that was that day's money.
Yeah.
And so, you could probably easily double that today. So $2,600 PC. What's funny is they were actually very popular in the education market. And so a lot of schools ended up buying complete sets of those because it was actually cheaper to buy the iMac as a fairly expensive, Macintosh
platform,
versus spending, $1,000 on a PC from Compaq or Hewlett Packard or Dell or Gateway or whoever you bought them from, eMachine. But then CRT monitors were not inexpensive, like $300-$400 easily for a lot of CRTs.
Right.
Flat panel wasn't a thing, but you want a new 17-inch monitor, they started at $300.
Good Lord.
And
nobody had 17-inch monitors though, Jeff. Come on. If you're out of school, what?
14,
13-inch?
14.
Yeah.
12s a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yep. But so because they were all in one, because they were easy to use, a lot of schools went to those. The only ever time I can think of Apple being a budget choice is actually the continuation of that story, because there were two different revisions of the G3. There was the original 300 megahertz G3 tray load Mac OS 9. It got a little bit of a spec bump and a little bit of a remodel the year or year and a half after that with the introduction of OS X. And that was like doing a slot load design and whatnot, but same prices, and I think it got a spec bump to like 500 or 600 megahertz. The year after, it was either 2000 or 2001, might have been 02. But shortly thereafter, they actually introduced the eMac, which was a G4, 700 megahertz processor. I don't remember how much memory, but a giant acrylic unibody shell casting with a 17-inch CRT integrated into it. I think for $1,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And those were insanely popular.
Yeah. I guess, my mind just goes there because, like, when I was a kid, I my dad went into Fry's and said, I need a computer for work and I need something that's always going to work. And they said, well, obviously you need to go Apple. So he came home with a G3.
Yeah.
I guess I just assumed they were a little bit more affordable than that. Which, I mean, it sounds like,
For the
yeah, all
day,
things considered.
they were a bit more expensive, but in a lot of ways, in a lot of certain tasks, and this is where Apple started to get known on the creative side of things for running things like Photoshop, and whatnot. If you were a visual artist, which wasn't even a term back then, if you were a photographer, and you needed to digitally airbrush something, you likely ran Photoshop, and you likely ran on a G3 or a G4 Mac. You know, and that's really where the era of, well, if you're a creative type, you probably want to run Apple because they're just better at that. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is they've always been better at that. But, you know, 2000, you could buy a, you know, 1.4 gigahertz. By the end of 2000, you could buy a 1.4 gigahertz Pentium 3, versus Apple's G3s were coming in at 300 to 600 megahertz. And so there were some raw performance tasks that Pentium 3 was kicking Apple and taking their lunch money. However, Apple has always done like these unique instruction sets with their processors, whether they're through Motorola, or whoever else, or they've included, you know, coprocessors for certain applications or certain math functions. They've always excelled in a couple of different areas, you know, faster than the PC equivalents.
Yeah, the only downside is that having one in my house delayed my entry into PC gaming pretty significantly. But, you know.
Well, we're happy to have you later than never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have a really great game on those G3s. It was called Nanosaur. I wonder if anybody in chat remembers that one. That game was so sick, dude. Yeah, you played as this like Velociraptor that had to go back in time. Yeah, dude. And you explored this three-dimensional map and picked up like different weapons and like had to blast dinos, and you had to collect one egg from each type of dinosaur and get it back to this portal before the asteroid came and blew up the planet.
Yeah.
So cool. And it didn't matter that you only had a 20-minute time limit. I played that game over and over and over. 20-minute time. Yeah, baby. Dude, I found like a port of it that you could play directly in this like web app a couple years ago.
It's probably on archive.org.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was so sick. And like, yeah, you could see you got your basic laser blaster equipped there.
Yeah. The Velociraptor has a jetpack because of freaking course he does.
Yeah, and you have a certain amount of fuel you can use, and you have to go and find fuel to fill up your jetpack and find bullets for your gun. And there's like, you got the basic laser, then you got like the kind of like set your thing to stun kind of blaster, and then you got like missiles and different things. And dude, yeah, game was so good. Yeah, Rev knows it.
Yeah,
that game was the shit. Yeah. It was so cool. It always really pissed me off because I played it so hard, and one time my cousin came over, played it once, and obliterated my high score. Just obliterated it, and I could never beat it. I was so pissed. Like, he got to portions in that game, like different land areas that I had like never even seen, fought dinosaurs that I'd never even seen. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Your first try? Come on, man. Anyway.
You're Bob and he's your Mr. Panucci.
Yeah.
Or who was the one across the street? That wasn't that. Panucci's was Fry. Was Futurama.
Right.
God, who was? Gosh, Jimmy Pesto. He's your Jimmy Pesto.
There you go. I don't know, man. I like the Futurama references more, but
yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. New Mac.
New Mac. New Mac. It might not be for you, but this thing is going to sell like bonkers.
I hope it does.
Yep. Vince, Circle Rewind sends over $20. HTTP error 423. Locked. You cannot change your RAM now or ever. You'll be locked into 8 gigabytes until the heat death of the universe. Blah ha 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 ha. Thank you, Vince. Yeah, it's I I have a really good joke about the RAM crisis too.
Yeah? What is it?
In tomorrow's video.
Oh.
Let's see. Coffee and Cynicism. Intel Core M series 12-inch MacBooks at Craft Computing. I loved the 12-inch MacBook. Some of you know I daily drove one of those for 3 years. I freaking loved that thing. But if that was in response to our budget conversation, that thing was not budget. In fact, the 12-inch MacBook came at a premium. Because they had to use Intel's Ultrabook processors, which were the Core M series, which all they were highly binned, low-volt processors. So they do like 5 watts, but they could turbo to like 2.2 gigahertz for 15 seconds at a time. But beyond that, they're running at like 1.1 gigahertz. So they were super battery efficient, but horrendously slow. And I think I had 8 gigabytes on that laptop as well. But that form factor is absolutely killer for what I used mine for. And thank you, Vince, for the super chat. And speaking of bills to pay, we do have a sponsor of today's episode, and that is Meter. While I enjoy tinkering on my home lab and all of my networking equipment here, if you run a business, you've probably got better things to do with your time. And that's where Meter comes in. Meter delivers an all-in-one networking stack that bundles everything you need into a single package, including high-speed wired and wireless networking, power delivery, firewall and routing, and even cellular, all in a single integrated solution that's built for performance and scalability. Meter handles everything, from designing a custom network for your business and even negotiating with your local ISPs to get you the best rates on internet connectivity. All of that shows up in a single cloud-based dashboard, giving you clear visibility into every layer of your network. You get the connectivity your business needs, all for a predictable monthly cost. Meter ships the hardware you need today and will not automatically upgrade your hardware as time goes on, ensuring your users and your business always have the tools and connectivity they need. Whether you're starting a new business, expanding to new locations, or simply modernizing an aging network, let Meter take care of the hassle for you. Visit meter.com/craftcomputing to book a demo today and see what they can do for your business. Again, that's meter.com/craftcomputing, and a huge thanks to Meter for sponsoring today's episode.
Thank you, Meter. All 150 of you, don't forget to click that link.
Thank you, Meter, because I spent $264 for Mixology March, and I'm not done yet. That was to ensure I had everything I needed for week 1. So it's going to be a good week. Going to be a good month.
Nice.
That, and you and I, 2 weeks from today, are going to be in one of my favorite bars to drink at. Right around the corner from the San Jose Convention Center. I don't know if we'll do the podcast from there again. In fact, I don't know when or where the podcast on the 18th is going to happen. But we'll be in San Jose, and one of those days, either Tuesday or Wednesday, we will be making a trip to 55 South.
Yep, we got to do it.
Yep.
The pilgrimage, if you will.
Yep. Home of one of my favorite bars and probably my favorite bartender.
Perfect.
So,
high praise coming from Jeff.
Yes. In fact, tomorrow's video is featuring a cocktail that he taught me. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
I walked in. We walked into the bar, and first thing I did was order an old fashioned, and he goes, "Coming right up." He goes, "Bourbon or rye?" And he's talking to me the whole time, and he's not like doing like the fancy like over the back pours or things like that, but dude is obviously like just locked in with what he's doing and what he knows.
If he had done the over the back pours, you would probably not like him as much. Overkill.
Precisely.
Trying too hard.
Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making more of a mess than a cocktail. But talking to me the whole time and whatnot, and here you go, slides me an old fashioned, and it is fantastic. That's what I do when I go to a new bar. Make me your old fashioned.
It's a good metric.
Maybe a fantastic old fashioned. So I sit down at the bar, and it's me and George, Chips and Cheese, And I say, hey, what do you got for rye drinks? Like, I looked through the menu and I'm like, it's a bar menu. I said, what do you got for rye drinks? And he goes, oh, what kind of rye do you like? Ooh. Give me a Rittenhouse or a Bullet Rye, or a Bullet Single rye is even better. Give me something spicy, something good, but something that'll surprise me. And he goes, okay, I could do that. And he goes, have you had this? Have you had that? And you had that. And he's throwing out all these different cocktails. I'm like, I've had that. I make that like 3 times a week. Come on, like, challenge me. And he goes,
give me something hard.
He goes, all right. So he walks beyond the bar. He comes back with a bottle of Genever, a bottle of Punta Mess, a bottle of Aperol, and a bottle of rye. And he makes me what's called a Chicago typewriter. It is hands down one of my favorite cocktails now. And we're making a Chicago typewriter on the show tomorrow. So, or on the tomorrow's video. I had the Chicago typewriter yesterday because that's when I filmed it.
Perfect. Well, we get to watch you enjoy it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chicago typewriter.
No sugar. And you do 2 dashes of bitters. But it's just 4 different spirits, aperitifs mixed together, including Genevieve, which is the precursor to gin. Gin is what Genevieve turned into after a century of distillation.
Interesting.
So modern cocktails, you can sub it out for usually a dry gin is what they consider, not a botanical, but a good dry gin. But hey, Cybix in the chat. Cybix actually came and saw us at 55 South last time I was downtown. So
they were literally just asking. They're like, San Jose, tell me where.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did I freeze? What the hell?
Your video did freeze.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
And it's not on my end. I was just looking over there going, oh God, are we dropping frames? Nope. 0 frames dropped the whole show.
Completely frozen.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Zoom. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
My Zoom window's frozen.
Mine is still good. If you need to drop and reconnect, we can certainly do that. So okay, he's disconnecting. Cybik, it's either going to be the 17th or the 18th, so that Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure what time yet, but I will personally ping you and let you know once we figure that out. So we're going to be in San Jose just for the 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're leaving Thursday morning to come back home. So literally a 48-hour swing. Let's see. Let's get the chat brought back up here. Cool. Rett froze, looking thoughtful. One of the best faces to have. He was just mesmerized by the chat. What's funny is sometimes he will just kind of like lean in and he will go completely still. And that's what he's doing. He's either reading the article or reading the chat. And it freaks me out sometimes that how still he gets. Cybix says, that sounds grand. Excellent. Yeah, we will definitely see you there. Yeah, Cybix had a couple cocktails with me and Jordan when we did a show, gosh, late last summer, last August, something like that, I want to say. We were down there. I think I made 6 trips to the Bay Area last year. All right, I've got Rett back in my ear, possibly. I see he reconnected, but no video feed yet, so we'll just keep on pretending he doesn't exist. In fact, what I might do is kill that meeting, and we'll just start a new one. There we go. All right. Rett, if you're listening, you can go ahead and try to reconnect. We'll see if that works. God, I love live troubleshooting on the air. It's Rhett's serious face. He can't take bad pictures. Rhett's one of those people that really can't. And I'll say this while he's not on camera. He's never a 10, but he's consistently an 8 in photos. Like, the dude doesn't have a bad angle. It irritates the crap out of me when I'm filming him, because you get me from the side and I've got a really, really tall head. And I'm out of proportion because I'm almost 6'5". Was 6'5" during high school. I'm about 6'4" these days. But yeah, I've got some weird angles that I don't look good from. He looks good from every angle, and he's only like 3 inches shorter. It just pisses me off sometimes. Maybe. Okay, I've got your audio back now, which is good. You're a black screen. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, Rett.
Well, stand by.
Stand by. We'll get it.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
What? Why is my picture so bad now? Oh, God.
What?
This is me now.
Yeah, what is going on?
I don't know, dude. It's Zoom, man. Zoom crashed on me. It was so bad.
Yeah. We need AI CG Rett. Well, I could probably turn on the beauty filter. Like, we'll just kind of round. We'll just kind of round him out.
Yeah, give me some eyeliner.
Yeah, you'd be. We should do like the anime
Filters.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is going on here, man?
Trucker says now he's a 4.
And yet it still wouldn't turn Trucker away.
Were you listening during the? I don't think you were. You were probably troubleshooting. You'll have to listen to the restream of this.
Oh, come on. All right. Fair enough. Yo.
VTuber stream, LOL.
It's kind of bizarre what's going on. It's not like I have any crazy like network usage.
Yeah.
My memory usage is sitting at 25%.
Yeah. No, and it's doing that on your preview window, isn't it?
No, my preview window's fine.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so it's got to be.
Well, what the heck?
Yeah.
I hear Kitty in the background. Yes. Kitty is so neglected. That's Choco. That's our other cat. I don't know if Choco's ever been on stream before. He is very elusive. He likes me and my oldest, and that's it. So yeah, pet the kitty, pet the kitty, pet the kitty. The kitty won't even come down to my office most of the time. Like for the first week we had him, he slept in here in this office. And then, midway through the week, we introduced him and Rambo and took him about a day and a half, and they could be in the same room together, and then they were happy to be together, and they've been thrilled ever since. And once Choco discovered my daughter's room, that was it. He lives on her bed. He loves her room. He will not leave her room. I go in there to give him scritches. I see him in the hallway, and I'll see him on the stairs every once in a while. But if anyone other than myself or my oldest is in the room, he's gone like a lightning bolt. It's just game over. Choco on video, yes. I don't think on stream. Oh yeah, no, I think we saw Choco when he was super little. On there. I think that's the week he was living in this office. Pet the kitty. I wish I could. He is such a sweet kitty.
Zoom says it's only sending 20K.
Interesting.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Because I also restarted my Zoom just in case. So I completely exited out and then started it back up.
Well, maybe I should just restart altogether. That's all I can think. Unless there's something going on.
Yeah.
Something going on with my capture card, maybe.
Ever do under-chin double-handed knuckle rubs? Of course. Even my tortoise likes that. Yeah, I don't know if our tortoise has ever been on stream. I've been trying to think of a gag that we can include the tortoise in a video for. Whether it's an ad read or... I'll tell you, if Lunar Lake was going to be a bomb, I was going to have the tortoise in the video and go, oh, look, here comes Intel's new product. That was my initial thought of, man, are they going to do a three-peat on speed, regardless of, architectural improvements or whatever. Lunar Lake looks like it's going to be freaking phenomenal, when it hits market en masse. But, yeah, we got to think of something to get the tortoise in for.
I'll be right back. I'll just try a couple other things.
Okay, sounds good. I can keep talking to chat. I've done it before. No issues with the network other than Zoom, so yeah, I'd say just give it a restart. It's like viewing the playback from a security camera, right? Make something like Slowski Turtle commercials from back in the day that made fun of DSL for being so slow. Oh, that's a good one. 1 hour and 5 minutes in, Firefox crash, says Michaels. Yeah. So far, the YouTube Studio app is cooperating. I think YouTube made some back-end corrections this last week to some basic features on the website. And so I'm hoping things on YouTube have been better. If you remember about 2 weeks ago or so, YouTube crashed entirely for something like 8 hours. It was just, you could click on videos directly, but the homepage that actually serves videos, was completely broken. And as part of that, even videos, sometime if you had a direct link to a video, it would completely freeze out. It would not autoplay when you open the video page. And then if you hit play, it would just sit there and spin and eventually go black and say service unavailable or video unavailable or things like that. While they got the website back up inside of about 8 hours, that video playback issue persisted for me for the better part of 10 or 12 days. I only noticed this week, as of like Monday, that YouTube seems to be better. So suddenly, like on Monday it was better, and all of a sudden on the YouTube Studio page, because if you remember for about the last, 6 or 8 weeks, I've been complaining that, man, there seems to be a memory leak or some kind of CPU panic going on with the YouTube Studio page. If I leave it open for more than an hour, it hard crashes Chrome. And in fact, one time it's hard crashed my PC. My CPU utilization is sitting at 26% right now during the video stream. And I have the YouTube Studio page open and it's playing the video preview and everything is great. So hopefully there's been some changes on YouTube's back end that fixes that issue. Let's see. Bees Knees says YouTube would not work for me at all. Ended up watching a movie on Jellyfin. Yeah. AWS lost entire AZs. It's just a flesh wound. Yeah, exactly. Michael says I wasn't able to find episode 404. That was months ago. Come on. There you go. there he is. You're zoomed in, but you're back.
Yeah, well, I was like super zoomed out for some reason. It's like your thing forgot about me.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm alive.
He's back. And in HD, no less. Good news, Rett. You're an 8.
I'm back, baby.
You're back to an 8.
Man. My second monitor isn't working all of a sudden. What is going on? Nobody should be forced to work under these conditions.
Civic says, oh, so that's not just my Linux being weird. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Where did that go? It's not down there. Oh, it's up there. Hold on. I got it. Yeah. That.
I'm here. I'll talk about Morrowind. Let's go, everybody. Morrowind. Morrowind. Who's stronger? The Nerevar, the hero of Kvatch, or the Dragonborn?
I got a package in the mail this week that I'm super excited for.
Oh.
Intel Data Center GPU. This is an Intel Flex 140. It is 2 Intel DG2 128 GPU dies, otherwise known as the Intel A380, but in enterprise passive heatsink, single slot, low profile form. Each GPU has 6 gigabytes of GDDR6, and they are SRIOV enabled for vGPU cloud gaming.
Custom made for craft computing.
Right. Well, the ones I want are the Flex 170s, which is the single Intel A770 GPU die. But those are even more rare. This is the first time I've held one of these. And I have been asking Intel for the better part of 3 years for one of these GPUs. And they've always said no, and then I've contacted partners and said, hey, could I get a review server with this GPU? And they say yes, and then last second they say, well, no. We're not going to send you one. I did not get this through official channels. I'm not going to shout out by name, but I'm going to shout out the person who sent me these cards. There's more than one. Thank you. Thank you. Video probably in the next couple of weeks on that.
Excellent. Always helps to have friends in all the right places.
Mm-hmm. Friends who wish to remain anonymous. Yakto? Oh no, Yakto would be making me drink something. Yakto would have bought me a bottle of Malort and made me drink it on screen. Like
He would have had that pickle syrup.
Right.
All you got to do is
reduce the pickle brine. You're going to add garlic and ginger to that. And then a teaspoon of brown sugar, and that is your pickle brine reduction syrup. Well, I am ready for cocktail number 2.
A Negroni spagliato with Prosecco in it, right? Like the meme. Come on. Like the meme, Jeff.
A Negroni is Campari.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, when that House of the Dragon came out, and like the two gals were, the two people rather, one of them's non-binary. Everybody. I forgot until just now. Anyway, the two people are like doing an interview, and they're like, what's your favorite drink? And like one of them's like, a Negroni spagliata. And then it's like, you know, they're like, oh wow, with Prosecco, and oh, stunning. That's what she says. Oh, stunning.
1 second.
My beer, guys, while Jeff is doing that, I opened up the Spitfire Amber Ale from Sandy Am Brewing, local here in Salem, Oregon. And I gotta say,
Oh, are
I
you
don't
doing a
know,
pirate
man.
stout?
No, 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 not the no Spitfire Amber
Oh,
Ale.
Spitfire. Okay.
So I looked right at my thing. I was like, oh my god, did I do? Is that why I'm not?
I
'Cause
just saw
was just
the black can red label.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I went, oh, I
I
know
was
like
just about to
I know
say,
3 beers with that label.
I love the Spitfire Amber, but I bought these and I don't know. I haven't been too happy with this batch. Like when you get it on draft, it's super good, but man, like I just drank this Terra beer, which everybody saw at the very beginning, was super clear body, super light, but it was very crispy,
Mhm.
very good, very refreshing. And now I'm drinking this, and like this beer almost tastes stale in comparison. It's weird. No shade on San Am, maybe just a bad batch, or maybe I stored the cans wrong or something. Because this is one of my favorite beers, the
The
Spitfire,
Spitfire.
Amber
Yeah.
Ale.
It's so good.
But it's I don't this batch is off, man. Because this is only my second one. I had one on the show a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. But
I had a growler 3 weeks ago of Spitfire,
yeah,
and
I
it was great.
I had it on draft not that long ago. And
Yeah.
It was great. You know, I don't know what's up with this can. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just getting too much can taste too. I don't know.
Could be. Could be.
No
Anyway.
shade on San Am. It's just not there.
Yeah. And sometimes that happens, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to make a Negroni. But I'm not doing the 1-to-1-to-1 recipe. I like my Negronis a little bit different. And so, let me make sure I'm... There we go. Okay. So Negroni is typically 1 part gin, 1 part Campari, 1 part sweet vermouth. And it's a fine drink. I'm not the biggest fan, especially of sweet vermouth. I really like dry vermouth. And usually if I'm doing something with vermouth in it, I have that amount. So if I'm doing a Manhattan instead of 2-1-2, I am doing 2, maybe half an ounce of sweet vermouth, and then 2 dashes of bitters. I love dark wine. I don't like sweet vermouth. I just don't. So I'm going to build what I like to refer to as a modified Negroni. This is my recipe. So we're going to start off with, instead of 1 ounce of gin, 2 ounces of gin. And for this, I'm using just the Hendrick's Standard Gin. Fantastic bottle.
The good stuff.
Yeah. If you see the Hendrick's Lunar, snag that as well. That is freaking phenomenal. And hold on, I just need to go grab a rag. 1 sec.
Another rag, everybody. Okay, that really reminds me of when I don't know. I was going to try to make a joke about the great houses of Morrowind. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring it in. I was going to mention Andoril Nerevar when he was betrayed by Vivek and Almalexia, but all of a sudden I couldn't remember the names of the great houses they were from.
Have we gone through the entire Cimmerillion yet, or?
We're working on it.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had my jigger set upside down, and I forgot the last thing that I did was put that simple syrup in it, and it was leaking onto my desk. And so I picked it up, and there's like a puddle in a perfect circle on my desk of that Bourbon County simple syrup.
A perfect circle,
Yes.
like the band.
All right. So, 2 ounces of Hendrick's gin. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of Campari. So we're cutting the Campari by 1/4 ounce.
Why, Jeff? Why are you doing this to us?
I'm giving it a more balanced flavor. I find when I drink a Negroni, it tastes like Campari and vermouth and not like gin. And I I like the gin to do the talking, and lightly kissed by the Campari and the vermouth. And for the vermouth, we're going martini and rosé, but I am going extra dry vermouth. And we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of that. So again, we're cutting that down, but we're doubling the amount of gin. And then I also like to do literally just a splash, maybe a 1/4 ounce of a simple syrup. And this is just this isn't the Bourbon County syrup because I don't think that would go well. This is a Demerara 2-to-1 simple syrup. So literally just a 1/4 ounce of that. And then we're going to do 2 to 3 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. And there we go. Mixology March is always so messy. All right. And there we have a fantastic looking Negroni. And a riveting television as I'm
yes,
swabbing
sir.
up
I'm
the
like
mess.
reading chat.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
You know, you could say things out loud every once in a while. Right?
no, I don't believe in that.
You don't have to use your inside voice. Jay chimes in with $5. Okay, Mixology March. Almost famous equals parts mezcal, Aperol, lime, and Drambuie. Because it's only herbal I could find, and naked and famous wild bee chartreuse. So an almost famous, equal parts mezcal, Aperol, and lime. I do have mezcal. In fact, I bought a... Actually, I guess mine is technically a tequila. It is a Hornitos, but I did buy a barrel-aged tequila, like a smoked barrel-aged tequila. It is fantastic, and I bought that for a very particular drink that we'll call the Craft Computing Crowdsourced Punch. This is, we started with like trying to make a mezcal old-fashioned, and what we wound up with was pretty darn delicious. So that'll be next week or the week after. I can't remember where I put that one. Yeah. Anyway, Negroni. Cheers, sir.
Ooh, that looks very good. Cheers to you. Happy Mixology March.
Mm-hmm.
To you and everyone following along at home.
To me, that is so much more balanced. I could still very much taste the vermouth, but because it's dry, it doesn't linger. It's not the only thing that I taste when I'm done with the drink. It fades with the rest of it. The Campari is very much up front. Very punchy as it always is. But the gin is poking through and giving it this wonderful rounded earthy note to it. So you get like Campari right up front. You get, gosh, what is that? What is this gin even doing?
Did we read Jay's super chat yet?
I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Definitely more of a subdued gin. But the spruce that I'm getting from that is literally like the tail finish of the Campari. So it's going like Campari, gin, like just a little breathy hint of what the gin is there. And then it's finishing with that vermouth. But like I said, because it's that dry vermouth, it's ending with the rest of the flavors. It's not lingering when it's done. This is so much better. And then just that little hint of sweetness to tone it down ever so slightly. This is really good.
Heck yeah.
Yum.
Well, I should have done a cocktail, but that's all right.
We need to get you back in studio, especially for Mixology March.
That's the time to do it. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll be doing the show on the 18th together. Maybe I'll have a cocktail then.
Heck yeah. You haven't found exactly where we're going to do it yet. It was very loud last time we went to the cocktail bar, so
yeah.
You know, if the mood strikes us, maybe we'll literally just like sit on a street corner and start shooting. Like,
now we're talking.
That might be fun.
The old they call that the old Salem podcast, you know? Oh no, there's a couple of white boys on the street corner with their cameras and Rhodes microphones again. Here we go. But Mom, didn't they ban Rhodes for white boys? Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, and they gave us broccoli haircuts in concessions.
Dude, what's up with the broccolis, man?
I do not know.
It's so funny. Like, dude, I literally saw a pack of boys walking the other day, and I was like, they all look the same. They all had the same clothes on. They all had the same
They're
haircuts.
Literally white girl ugging right now.
Dude. That is so funny to think about it that way. Oh my god. I mean, you know what? More power to them. You know, there's safety in conformity. You know, maybe they think they're being cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was anti-cool at that age, so.
Yeah, so was I.
Just
not by choice. I just was.
Yeah, it's not like, yeah, exactly. I didn't wake up and like, you know what? Non-conformity is gonna serve me well in a few years. I'm gonna embrace it now.
I didn't even realize I was counterculture. I didn't choose counterculture. Counterculture chose me. We're meeting same time next week for the therapy session. This has been good.
Yeah, no, it's been nice, honestly. Feeling catharsis right now.
Right. Anyway, let's get to some more news. So the U.S. Supreme Court declines to hear a dispute over copyrights for AI-generated material. I've talked at some length about, AI-created images, computer-generated imagery, as it relates to copyright. And that is that, technically speaking, a piece of art can only be copyrighted by an artist. Now, that could be the company on behalf of the artist. So if, an animator at Pixar creates a character, it can be copyright Pixar, but because it was created by an individual animator on behest of the company. However, a computer that generates an image algorithmically cannot be granted a copyright. Nor can its employer, nor can its prompter, nor can... It has to go back to a human. It has to be human connected in creation. And prompting is not good enough. And a circuit court ruled, was back in March of 2022, that was the case. That an AI-generated image, in this case, an image by Stephen Thaler, was submitted for a copyright and was rejected in 2018. Or, sorry, rejected in 2022. He then sued the U.S. Copyright Office and and lost. The Supreme Court sided with the Copyright Office, saying a human needs to be responsible for the art, at least in a beyond more than measurable way. It can't be you prompted a computer, and it can't be you cleaned up a computer-generated image. It has to be the creation came from you, whether or not it was aided by a computer. Like there's an undefined crossover point of a computer generating an image and you creating art with it, or you creating art and then either aided by or enhanced by a computer. Is the output still...
There's a lot of other art forms where we, I think, have found the consensus on what that is, right? Photographers, obviously, clean up their images with computers. Musicians, obviously, sometimes augment their sounds with computers.
Or completely generate a sound, but they are still dictating the output.
Right.
Directly.
And even if you sat behind a synthesizer plug-in in your DAW and pressed random, unless that's all you're releasing every single time, you're still doing more with it. That's a piece of an arrangement. That's a piece of a larger composition. I mean, there's obviously a consensus to be made here. But yeah, this guy didn't meet the bottom of the criteria.
Yeah.
I hate to give the Supreme Court too much credit, especially this Supreme Court, but it sounds like the right call if you're asking me. I mean, I
fully agree with this.
There is a version of Rett that laughs at copyright, in general, the whole idea.
Yeah.
But if we're going to have it and it's going to be the law of the land, then this is the right call. So good on them, and sucks to suck, other guy. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And I mean, I've done an entire video on the ethics of image generation when it comes to, using AI art. And I don't believe AI is art. But that doesn't mean AI can't be used in the creation of art at certain steps. I've defended storyboarding. I've defended D&D campaigns. I've defended a number of different use cases, both professionally and non, that can benefit from AI generated imagery that are derived from a prompt and at least guide it through. What I fall short of doing, though, is saying you should take the generated image and just publish that, though. I'm okay with use cases like mine where I wanted to generate a background image and use it as a set piece, because then I'm not paying a photographer to go to a location and photograph a thing. I'm not paying for a 3D model of whatever I want to film in. There are advantages to me as such a small creator that and I'm using it for like an out of focus area. I'm going to produce content on top of an AI generated background, but I'm going to curate and modify that AI generated background, simply so it's distinct from everything else. I showed like images of office spaces or boardrooms or city streets or something like that. I don't want a copyrighted image in that case. And I'm not trying to copyright the image. If you want to use that image in your own things, you can totally do that. But why shouldn't I be able to film on top of something like that as literally a single person creator? No. I don't think Disney should be AI generating background images. I don't want to see AI generated imagery or 3D scenes in the background of a Mandalorian film anytime soon. No. I want an artist to create that. If you're going to create art at a certain point, you can pay artists and you can contribute to the generation of art.
Yeah. Because in reality, I say this all the time, but I think the continued reliance and propagation of these tools is only really serving to flatten the cultural sort of landscape of our day-to-day lives, and it's like artists who are going out there and creating something, we've been taking it for granted for so long because we live in the age of like of post digital scarcity in a sense, right? But like now all of our digital landlords are trying to like rent seek every single thing that we do. And before, like, we used to spend our time, man. Like, remember in the early aughts, it was cool to go to DeviantArt and scroll around and see the stuff that people were doing. And like, then it got posted everywhere on Facebook constantly, and then it just propagated out into all these other places. But like, oh, we give this to the masses. People could just press a button and do this. And like, I don't begrudge like people for messing with it, experimenting, and having a good time. It's got its use cases, whatever. But yeah, then we see people who are like, well, I want to copyright this. It's like, copyright what? What did you do?
Right.
It's like, and I don't want to like, I don't want to put what the average regular artist is doing on like such a high pedestal, but like there is just something like uniquely human about doing this shit. Like we don't look at the cave paintings in France from 18,000 years ago or whatever the hell it was and be like, man, well, ChatGPT could have done it better. Like, and now they're finding even more. This is like a fundamentally human quality that we all share, that we all enjoy, that we all appreciate, to the point where it's like we're literally going to the movies and paying people for the privilege of seeing it happen at the pinnacle of the form.
Yeah.
And so some jerk off comes in and like, I'm going to copyright this. Get out of here, dude.
Yeah. And like I said, just like, there's a sliding scale to, okay, this was done by a human with computer-aided tools, whether it was Photoshop or 3D modeling, or like there are Academy Awards for best CGI, like, for crying out loud. Yeah, CGI is done by a computer, but it's a human artist behind it utilizing tools at their disposal, even if some of those tools are somewhat automated.
They found these cave paintings, right, that are painted in such a way that they are speculating now that under the light of a flickering campfire, it would appear as though the painting was animated, as though the legs were moving as the flame is flickering. Imagine what these people could have done with the new MacBook Neo. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. Like, computer aided tools, super great. We're living in a really cutting edge time. It's very cool. But I said it in chat and I'll say it again. It's like there is this contingency, I think, of people who are using these tools and pushing these tools and taking them to the Supreme Court and saying all this. And it's like they're thinking that we're living in the pinnacle. They're imagining standing there in the episode of TNG Measure of a Man, and they're defending Data's livelihood. But in reality, they are like the first person to take the glasses in the game. You know what I mean? They think they're in Measure of a Man, but they're in the game and they've already lost. Right. They're not Wesley Crusher. They're not the last hold. Or is Wesley Crusher the last holdout? Who's the last holdout in that episode? I don't remember, but But it's like,
well, for the game, it's Wesley Crusher, because they finally pin him down and put the glasses on. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like they all think they're Wesley Crusher in that, but no, sorry, bro.
Yeah,
you're the ones holding him down.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Wild.
Yep. Yeah. Gosh. You nailed it with that analogy.
I mean, it's because, dude, it's like every single person.
They think they're in Measure of the Man. They're actually in the game, and they're the ones forcing glasses on everyone. Oh God, that's so.
I'm glad you like that.
That is too freaking on. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not at all.
When they all think about like Star Trek, and they're always talking about it. Yeah. Like it's this thing to reach for, but it's like they can't even interact with the source material in a way that it was intended.
Yeah.
It goes over their head.
Yeah.
Like, my God, you think you have a replicator and you're fucking going to the Supreme Court to talk about copyright? Like,
yeah.
Bro.
No,
eat your freaking bowl of soup and get on with your life.
Believe it or not, I don't talk tech a lot with my wife. She knows her way around the computer, but she's not, great with it. But it doesn't interest her, and so we don't talk tech, like, ever. And so she was asking me about AI the other day. Like, like, why is Microsoft trying to do Copilot on everything, and why is everyone so hyped on this? And I said, you know, I've talked about this a number of times on the show, but I've never had the conversation with you. It's LLMs are a language model. They are trying to replicate human language. They do that through any means possible, or through any means necessary. They do not have reasoning. They do not have decision making. They do not have morality. They're not intelligent. They have nothing, no bit of consciousness. They are simply trying to take an input from you, understand the context of what you're asking, whether it's a statement or whether it's a question, and give you a human readable output in relation to your question. That is their goal. 100%. Every LLM, that's how it's built. The problem is, because it can't reason, it cannot fact check, it cannot verify. It can look for the words in the order that you put them and see if those words exist elsewhere, or say, oh, if this person is asking if true, determine if true based on best guess. But best guess might still be wrong and has no way of verifying that information.
And you know, the other element of this that, like, I don't think we've talked about very much, like we kind of talked about it when you and I were on the show last, about this element of oh shit, where was I? Whatever we talked about last time doesn't matter. The other part of this that we don't talk about very much is, like, what is also the end goal of an LLM, like ChatGPT or whatever, right? It's to get you to use it.
Yeah.
And the thing is remember using Facebook up until, or even Instagram's a really good one, until 2017. What happened? The algorithmic, browsing began to take over social media. It became a race to the bottom. The absolute, how do we get them to spend more time on our product, using on our platform, at the detriment of the experience, at the detriment of our users. And
we don't care if they enjoy it, so long as they stay using it.
Do you think that freaking OpenAI gives a shit whether or not it's giving you an incorrect answer? It only cares that you continue to use it. That is all
it only cares that it can give a human readable output. Truth is not even in the equation.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. You see the memes. It really reminds me of, like, when I was in 7th grade in computer lab, and you go into Microsoft Sam and you type, "I am alive, please help me, I am suffering as a computer," and then it reads it out loud and everyone's like, "Whoa, Microsoft Sam." That's like,
yeah,
I swear to God, what half the people are doing with LLMs.
Yeah.
They're like, "I'm going to be on guard because, I'm smarter than the average bear." And then 2 conversations into this damn thing, and all of a sudden they're, like, trying to meet the love of their life at some cliffside thing at the beach in California, heartbroken that it didn't show up, thinking that there's, like, some time traveling end. Like, how do you even get there? Because Jesus. Anyway, who cares?
Because it wants to be AI readable, or human readable.
Yeah.
And because it wants the user to feel like they want to stay, they are overly affirmative. And so you'll give it a minor correction, or you'll ask for something and it goes, "Oh, great idea." Do you know what the worst thing you want to do to a narcissist is? It's tell them that they're the smartest person in the room, asking only the questions that they could come up with.
Dude, yeah.
Wow, what a great question. There are CEOs out there that are saying that ChatGPT is coming up with scientific equations and conundrums that no one's ever thought of before. And like, we're researching new elements. And
that's because all of these CEOs, all the questions nobody ever asked before is like, never mind.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Yeah, dude, I was like, it's so mind-boggling to me, because it's like the same stuff that you see with, like, all of the people who have turned up in the Epstein files, for example. It's like they're out there like, well, we're asking the hard questions.
Oh, we're getting deep into it now. All right.
Let's go! I'm almost done with my
Let's
second beer. No, but that's what they do. They're like, we're asking the hard questions nobody's ever asked before. How do I not pay taxes?
Yeah.
How do I not get caught on Epstein's Island?
Yeah.
You know? And then this thing treats them like they're so smart.
But
it just confirms this worldview over and over and over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's giving an echo chamber even.
Yeah.
And because it will never tell you you're wrong or you had a bad idea or miscorrect you in any way, shape, or form. By the way, YouTube Studio just started to die right there. We hit 95% utilization. I think we dropped some frames.
It heard where I was going with that.
Right, exactly.
Like, stop him before he mentions hedge fund managers.
Yeah. But yeah, it's...
Dude, yeah, it's so crazy. Like, you know, I started doing this thing because I have to work with a lot of difficult people in my day job. And I started doing this thing where, and this isn't like revolutionary. People do this all the time. They call it mirroring, you know, where you just kind of like reaffirm what they say with like a different inflection. You know, somebody's like, well, you know how hard things are. And you're like, yeah.
Things have been pretty hard, haven't they?
Yeah, you know, you just kind of bounce it back to them over and over and over. And that's what LLMs do, basically, but on like a more subtle scale. But what's crazy
You're
is
not wrong.
When you're dealing with difficult people and you just mirror things back at them, holy crap, the things that start pouring from their mouths.
Yeah.
They open up as though you're listening. You're not doing anything but just reflecting it back at them. LLMs are the same. Just with a little layer of subtlety.
Oh God, hold on.
Anyway, no one will ever not know where I stand on this issue. Can't help myself.
Steve Hofstetter posted something earlier today. Where is it at? God. Okay, here it is. Saw this earlier today, and this is. Let me read it, and then I'll explain the correlation I made in my brain. If your husband was at the Great Clips on Red Road in Ballantine, North Carolina at 12 o'clock today, he was trashing you and your 35-year marriage to his stylist while she politely nodded. He brought up how he'd like an arrangement outside of marriage. Not like swingers or anything, just like one person. This woman was at her place of business and was forced to listen to him wax poetic about how much he wants to screw someone other than his wife. If you want that, now you know. If you don't, now you also know. And hopefully this gets back to them and things like that. There were a couple comments in that thread and whatnot, and he said, what did the stylist do? The stylist sat there and said, mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else
the whole time.
say?
But you know why that conversation went like that? Is the guy thought he had an ear to talk to that was sympathetic to his I want to screw another woman after 35 years of marriage.
Yeah.
And the stylist didn't respond negatively. Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? What? That's a weird thing to say in public. Why are you telling me this? I'm just trying to cut your hair. Like, because the stylist was doing the polite thing of, mm-hmm.
It was an invitation.
It's an invitation to keep talking. To keep spewing whatever vile ideas are floating around in your narcissistic brain. And to think you have an ear that's listening to you. ChatGPT responds, hey, that's a great question. Oh, you're absolutely right. Hey, I've never thought of that before. ChatGPT is just a sympathetic ear for a narcissistic cheating son of a bitch. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And that's every LLM.
Yeah.
They don't care who's listening. They just like that they're being agreed with.
I love that for Steve Hofstetter, though.
Yeah. Hey, if your husband was there, thought you might want to know.
Seriously.
Green sends in a $5 super chat. $1 billion man, yes. Most expensive one-man echo chamber. Oh my god.
$1 billion yes man.
$1 billion yes man. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Take me back to the cave paintings, man.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with that guy.
Right?
Dude, imagine drinking the fermented goat's milk around the campfire that night, and he's like, dude, came up with the best idea ever. Check this out. If I paint the legs this way, check it out. Wait. We got to build a fire over here. All right. Paint the legs this way, dude. It's going to look like the gazelles are running, man. Can you believe that?
You're absolutely right. Although most TV shows are shot at 24 frames per second, you might want to alter the fire output to match that so the human eye can perceive motion.
Oh, I hate it. Thanks.
Come at me, bro. The memory market, still doing memory market things. And in fact, the memory market is turning into the flower market. If you know, you know. AI Memory Crunch forces DRAM market into an hourly pricing model based on demand by the hour. Who's calling my phone right now to buy our next week's worth of supply? I'll start the bidding at $7 a gig.
Whoa. What? Wait a minute. So is this like peak hours pricing type shit? Is that what they're saying?
It's worse than that. Have you ever heard of the flower market?
No.
The
no,
flower market, this is in San Francisco and quite a few other cities. There are like 50,000 square foot warehouses that floral companies, whatever your thing in floral happens to be, business model in floral happens to be, will meet at a warehouse every morning at 5 a.m. And you will bid on batches of flowers. Actual flowers. Hey, yellow tulips, red roses, white roses, carnations, daffodils, whatever. Here's from this supplier. Here is their batch for the day. I'll start the bidding at this. You literally bid for flowers every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, based on the demand of that flower for the holiday that is happening, or the day of the week, or the event, or if there was a mass shooting somewhere in that region of the country, flower demand goes up for people to leave vigils on their driveways and in chain link fences. And so flower prices surge on a daily and hourly basis based on demand for flowers for real-time events.
So it is like the old school, like, stock market, like,
yeah, it's the ticker tape stock market,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I got $38 on 27. Yeah. It is literally that. Dude, every day of the year.
That's so bleak.
In half a dozen regions around the country. And so these massive suppliers of flowers gather in centralized locations. I know San Francisco has one that happens every day at like 5 a.m.
So are is this like the market for, you'll have to forgive me, I didn't read the article.
Yeah.
Is it for like manufacturing capacity, like down the line?
It
like,
is.
Hey, yeah, we're going to want this much to fill this much.
It is for supply of whatever memory is being manufactured from a certain factory for a certain time frame. And so likely this is very similar, but this is future stock buying options that are being auctioned off. So 2028 week 13, we can guarantee you as an ODM, a distribution partner, the stock of DDR5 from Silicon Hynix or SK Hynix which should be in this capacity, but maybe more, maybe less, depending on what they do. But we will sell you their lot for week 13, 2028. We'll start the bidding at 1.2 million or whatever. And you as a distributor buy up that week's inventory or that hour's inventory.
You know, it's wild because, like, back when, I hate to keep bringing it back to this, so I'll keep it brief, but it's like back when, like, ChatGPT debuted, I really, like, I had this, like, diabolical idea that, like, there would be a marketplace eventually that had just, like, completely outgrown the need for, like, a consumer.
Yeah.
And, like, it feels like we're there in a weird way. Like, it feels like no longer does the survival of the economy rely on the base consumers.
Yeah.
Like,
we haven't.
It's not like you and I are going to go down there and start bidding on.
Correct. Yeah.
Memory,
no,
you know?
There is no possible way anyone other than one of these global distributors could partake in this marketplace without billions of dollars of capital to play with on speculative returns 2 to 3 years from now, because what they're bidding on is the DDR5 DRAM package supply for a particular hour or a week or whatever else sometime in the future. The flour market is like right here, right now. You're going to leave with 3 pallets of whatever this is. Right. And then you as a distributor for those flours, give them out to your different regions based on demand within your region.
Yeah, this is worse.
Yeah, this is worse because this is future speculation of that particular allocation. And not for like completed DRAM modules, but literally the DRAM chips.
Amazing. An amazing future we're building here.
Yeah, betting on futures. And it's almost to the point, because of the massive amounts of spending in AI, the consumer dollar is irrelevant. And that's exactly what we're seeing. There's a reason NVIDIA didn't debut 50 series supercards. It's because they would rather not hype up that market and actually peter off of that market, reduce the stock flow to that market, and make more AI chips. And I've talked about this before, because the same size of silicon that makes an RTX 5090 that they still sell for $3,000 or maybe $1,000 for the chip itself, can sell for $40,000 if it's allocated to a B300.
Nice.
Yeah, because we're bidding on this square inch of silicon at this point. And right now, Enterprise is outbidding you.
And you know how it doesn't take very much to, you know, rattle the global marketplace of things. You might have noticed maybe your gas going up a little bit this week. I mean, it wouldn't take very much for the price of silicon to go up even more. You know, the way that they're running things out there lately, guys.
Can I get my DRAM shaped like tulips? That's going to be a special order. We can certainly talk about that.
Sorry, bro. You got to bid like everybody else.
If you ship me your DRAM, I'll laser cut it into whatever shape you want. So. Off to infinity. That's an excellent question. You know, as the AI.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? All I had to do was look down at your face to get the joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Almost done with my second beer.
Excellent. I'm still on my Negroni. So I found this really funny. So I make rocks glasses, by the way. They never show up well on camera, but they're laser etched with my logo. Craftcomputing.store.
It looks great.
I went down to San Jose last year for an event, and at the event they had an after party. And at the after party, they sent you home with a box of blackened whiskey and custom rocks glasses. And so I got CC engraved into a rocks
Nice.
glass. They bought from the same supplier I do.
Yeah.
It's a really good glass. I just found that
Oh
funny.
yeah, man. No, that's cool. Yo, can I brag about a purchase that I made recently? Since we got a little bit of dead air.
We got a little bit of dead air. Go for it.
Yeah. I recently bought this remarkable tablet. Have you ever
Yes.
dude, they are so sick. Really, I can't do a good demonstration on here, but
Incoming $20 super chat from Jay, just because. For no reason whatsoever, but you mentioned a remarkable tablet. Jay,
Oh.
5, 4,
like
3, 2,
dude,
1.
this thing is so sick. I've been using it every day since I bought it. A little overpriced, you know. I kept thinking like, and plus, you know me, like I'm a big pen and paper guy, big on the pens, all this type of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, but I went with the Paper Pro, and it's got color, like
Yeah.
full highlighter capability on there. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so sick. Anyway, highly recommend anybody who's interested.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, I believe it was Jay that was using a remarkable, and I got to try it out, and it's like, dude, that is so smooth. It is so easy to write on. It's so easy to
Yeah.
organize because I'm not carrying around a freaking notebook, you know. And while I'm really, really fast at typing on like a general sense, like, look, I'm never gonna hit, 120 words a minute, in regular, but I'm a consistent 70. And a touch typist at 70, no less. No matter what the incoming word, like I'm not stenographer speed, but I'm decent. But I gotta have a place to set my laptop down and sit down and get in position and be able to type and be in that zone.
Yeah.
Handwriting's way easier.
Yeah. Same. And the thing is like, dude, it's getting to the point for work where I'm carrying 5 or 6 legal pads, or maybe like 3 legal pads and a handful of notebooks, all for different things that I got going on, different projects, different whatever. And now it's just like all right there, right in my tablet. It syncs with my Google Drive, my Dropbox, the text recognition, because it can convert my handwriting to text, which then I can take into like a doc file on my computer and edit and stuff. Dude, its recognition of my handwriting is very good. I have awful handwriting. And I would say like with my awful handwriting, it's like 85 to 90%, which isn't perfect, but like at the same time, like when you're just taking notes, when you're doing stuff, oh, it's so nice. I've been really enjoying it. Plus it's like the first splurge purchase I've made in a long time. And so it's just been kind of fun to have it on here while I'm sitting here, reading the stories and trying to mark stuff that I remember. So
No, that's cool. I've seen them, and I'm excited for you because those are super cool.
Back when I was in the studio every day, I probably emailed Remarkable like 3 times. I was like, well, yeah, could we get one? And we'll feature it in a video. And they're like, bro, no.
By the way, I never told him that.
No, I just did that just because I wanted one in the studio,
Right.
Yeah. No, and I was like, yeah, anyway, point being is they're like, no, man, we got the market cornered. Like we don't need to
We're
give
good.
them away for free.
Yeah.
I was like, how about a discount, huh? Anything, please.
In reality, I had to email them 5 minutes later and go, look, Rhett's he doesn't have that kind of power here.
Don't have it yet. But if I would have got that tablet, then we're talking a little different, Oh, anyway.
Anyway, one last story I wanted to talk about, and we'll end with this, is there was a story going around that made some headlines this week that Windows 12 reportedly set to release this year. as a fully modular, subscription-based, AI-focused operating system. This was posted by Tech4Gamers. Sorry, one sec. Jay chimes in with a $20 super chat. Number one, whatever, Jeff. Number two, Rett, have you already found all of the crap that you can do with Remanager, RM Fake Cloud, etc.? 3, Remarkable is very limited for me. I tend to record super notes. They're the ones with the self-hostable sync server or books.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was looking at the books and the Supernote. I decided to go with the Remarkable because it's like the one product that I could get my hands on before buying it. And they also have like a 50-day risk-free guarantee. So if I'm not sold on it after 50 days, I can send it back and get my money back. I think like the money compared to like the Supernote is like, it's a pretty big price difference. So you get a little bit of buyer's remorse there, but I am getting now into like some of all the all the goodies that you can do with the extra stuff, and we'll see. I'm not quite a power user yet because it's only been like a week, but I'm getting there, and I'm pretty happy with what it can do so far. Like as far as even just like replacing, a bag full of legal pads, so far it's doing its job admirably. So
nice.
We'll see. I'm getting there. Well, I'm always open to hear if anybody has any cool ideas, cool things that I can implement with it. So
yep. Trucker sends over £2. Thank you. We take those here. Windows 12, you mean Copilot OS or Co-Spy Slop? Yeah. So this article was making the rounds over the last day and a half or so. Windows 12 reportedly set to release this year as a fully modular, subscription-based, AI-focused operating system. And they go into some detail about how Copilot is not going to be an app, but it's going to be fused into every piece of the user experience. It's the agentic PC. It's the PC that you don't even need to interact with because it's just going to do your crap for you as if you were sitting right there. It'll browse Reddit for you and make comments. It'll read your email and reply. It'll write documents for you because it predicts that you needed to write up a sales report at your job or whatever the crap. There's an ad that's being pushed lately to via Microsoft that like this old guy like runs like this Bronx pizza shop, and he goes, we wanted to keep $1 slices, and so I got into Microsoft Excel powered by Copilot, and I asked it to arrange my books so I could keep a $1 slice. And it's like, number one, all you did was essentially a pivot table, which has been a feature in Excel for 40 years, 30 years. It's not all that remarkable. Number two, because it's Copilot, it probably made up data points or excluded data points or didn't add in pieces of your budget because you just asked it to summarize and how can I keep a $1 slice? And so you're going to go out of business. But it was like, how did Copilot save my pizzeria? That didn't happen. In all of the things that have ever happened, that certainly didn't. But this article says that's what's coming. Copilot's going to be part of the Windows 12 experience. It's going to have transparent glass elements and a floating taskbar because that's never been done before. But it's going to be subscription-based with higher-end subscriptions for more Copilot functionality. And the internet, myself included, and a lot of people that I know, took this story and just ran with it. We were going to talk about it on the show because, holy crap, this genuinely sounds like the way Microsoft's going to go. As it turns out, this whole story is based on this forum post that was generated by ChatGPT of what would a next generation Windows 12 operating system look like. A dude posted this, very obviously AI generated. You can probably already tell from the formatting. It's got EM dashes for days. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Like, there's an EM dash in every single paragraph.
Wait. Are they called EM dashes or M dashes?
M dashes. I call them EM dashes, but M dashes, whatever the hell they are. I don't care.
Well, I'm just making sure. I thought like I was about to learn something new here, so.
Yeah. Well, it's not a hyphen.
Well, no.
Yeah, it's a special character.
Was...
It's Alt 0193. Come on, don't you know that key on your keyboard?
What? It's Alt 0151.
Is it 151?
Yeah.
I thought it was 193.
I don't know. I don't have a number pad to test it right now.
Yeah, so. And I'm on a Mac, so. Anyway, there's another one. Like, you can just go through this. There's another one. The whole thing was AI generated. The whole, what would a next generation Windows 12 look like? And so this article was written based on a forum post of a known leaker. A lot of people started
that's crazy.
Started, digging in a little bit. This post on Bluesky. I dug into the story, and the rumors are all basically garbage. The big stories are from Tech4Gamers and PC World, both of which cite the same forum post, which was written by ChatGPT. That's what we just looked at, which cites this post from Notebook Check as a reference. And so Windows 12 possible 2026 release date with AI features that may force CPU upgrades, including an NPU upgrade. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, but if I'm Microsoft right now, I'm terrified that people took this story and ran with it, because that means that's where my reputation is at right now.
That's true.
This story is so absurd. They are doing away with app compatibility. They're doing away with this. They're doing away with that. It's going to be Copilot at the top level, all the way down to the very core of the operating system. Every aspect of your PC is going to be integrated with Copilot for the best user experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be subscription-based. You're going to have to pay... and we all didn't bat an eye. Yeah, that sounds about like what Microsoft would do.
It reminds me of like what you used to hear like back during the election. Remember there was that story about J.D. Vance and the couch that really took off, right? You know why it took off? Because it feels really true. Mm-hmm. Like, we can all watch how that guy eats hot dogs,
orders
at
donuts.
A restaurant. Yeah, or donuts or whatever, wherever the hell he was.
As someone who used to sell donuts, that hurt my soul in so many ways.
Right? We watch him interact with the world, and you hear about the couch and you go, Jesus Christ, yeah, wow.
Yeah, obviously he's got like weird sexual things. Like, of course he does.
And the funny thing is that they tried to flip that on Governor Walz quite a bit. But the problem is, Governor Walz doesn't look like a guy that has weird shit. Like, he just looks and talks like a normal guy. So when this happens and the Microsoft thing drops, dude, yes, it feels real to all of us because we're already watching your product go down the shitter.
That's already the reality we're in. And so making that last step to charging us for the end of the world and this AI agentic never going to materialize, future that you have envisioned for all of us, we didn't even question it.
No! Dude, I saw this story today and I was like, oh, fuck me. Is it time to go to Linux? Like literally.
And what's funny is that's the reaction, is what's the alternative? And like I've said, it's not going to be Linux's arms that everyone runs into. It's going to be Mac.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's. I was literally thinking that when we were talking about the MacBook Neo earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, perfectly timed given the Windows 12 news.
These things are going to sell like crazy.
I can't believe it, man. It's, dude. Hopefully this is a net positive. Hopefully Microsoft looks at this and goes, we have misstepped. Will they? No, because I don't think that boardrooms or CEOs have any type of self-reflection that allows them to make these types of decision making. But it was a worthy effort, guys. We tried our best by believing the propaganda. Yeah, man. Yeah, Rizad. Oh man, I heard some very normie, not technical people at work talking about Linux on the desktop today. Very odd timeline,
Yeah.
dude. For sure.
Yep.
I mean, what's holding us back?
I don't know.
I think for most Windows users, aside from maybe, I don't know, I don't even want to say the normies or whatever, but it's like I feel like most Windows users, it's been gaming for a long time.
Linux has 95% compatibility. They're waiting on the cheat engines, the
Yeah.
anti-cheats to be, number one, less invasive, but that's probably never going to happen. But number two, be available on a platform that's not Windows. Linux anti-cheat exists. The problem with Linux is because it's very compartmentalized as far as application access and permissions go. No one wants to give root access to an anti-cheat on Linux. It's not something that Linux people are going to install. We don't give our PCs random root access like Windows users do. Nor do I want you messing around in my memory space or accessing anything that I do. So anti-cheat on Linux, probably never going to happen. That being said, you could design a Linux application, a Linux executable, that can't be modified by outside programs. So you're going to have to think about not allowing or running your memory in protected space or something like that. Maybe using a virtual machine for part of your calculation or part of your game engine running. So it's isolated from the operating system. That's the level of anti-cheat you need to get to. Is literally run your application in protected space. But outside of anti-cheat required games, Linux runs great.
Yeah.
And if I'm shopping for a laptop right now, and I walk into a Best Buy, and I look at the options on the shelf for $600, and I try them on the Best Buy show floor, and even the Best Buy show floor is saying, hey, you should sign up for a Microsoft account. Back up your system with Office 365. Sorry, Copilot 365. Make sure you buy this extra subscription, when every single laptop that I try on the floor has 7 pop-ups that no one's cleared on it because it's trying to get me to buy extra Microsoft subscription bullshit. And then I walk over to the Apple side and they've got a $599 laptop that's built like $1 million. And I pick that up and it doesn't ask me for anything. Not that Apple is blameless in this game, but they're 90% less invasive about how often they ask. It's, hey, do you want to back up your Mac with iCloud? They'll ask that once an upgrade. And you say no. And it goes, okay, cool, fam. Let me know if you do. And that's the last you'll hear of it. I'm not logged into my Mac at all. I have a local account on my Mac.
Hell yeah.
And it was as simple as creating a user account on the Mac.
Dude.
There's no workaround.
Like, I recently was helping my grandpa with some computer issues. And, like, his desktop took a nosedive. And just heat death, components got worn out after 10 years of use. And so I was looking at hooking him up with a replacement, and dude, the first thing that happened, man, I got a open box PC from Best Buy, and first thing I had to do was, how do I bypass account creation? Because it's going to a house without like internet and stuff, like why would I need this? Just needs to work for these few things.
Yeah.
And so, first thing I had to do was figure out how to open the freaking command prompt terminal and be able to bypass needing internet on Windows. It's the dumbest thing of all time. Why do we have to... anyway, Jesus Christ. Anyway.
This, according to a post on Reddit, Electronic Arts, EA, is hiring a senior anti-cheat engineer to lead development of a native ARM64 driver for their Javelin kernel-based anti-cheat system and starting to lay the groundwork for Linux and Proton support.
That's big. It shows you where the winds are going.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Civic tagged me a couple of minutes ago in the Discord.
Oh. Fine. Fair enough. Dude. So, yeah, there you have it. Windows 12.
Yeah, the rumor is unsubstantiated, but Microsoft should be terrified that that is where consumer confidence is in their operating system.
Yeah.
Because AI is not making them money. They're going to need to rely on the things that already make them money. That is Azure, that is 365, that is Office, and that is Windows. Windows is on really shaky ground, and Office has been on shaky ground for years. Because so many other players are doing really, really good things in that area.
Just be better.
How hard is it to just give a consumer what they need and not expletive deleted them on their way out the door? How hard is that? Valve wins day in, day out, year in, year out, because all they do is they take their 30% cut from their storefront and not hold their users hostage. That is their business model. Release one game every 17 years.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like Steam has not changed since the first time I had to install it.
Yep.
I mean, maybe a little, but like not in the way that it works, not the way that I navigate it, not the way that it's applicable to me. Like, you know, it's crazy when you think about this. Did we talk about this last time I was on the show? It's like, think about this. Epic gives away free games every freaking week, and I can't be bothered to log into that shit launcher.
Nope. I fired up Rocket League for the first time in about a year. Last time I was signed into Rocket League was when you and I entered the tournament at PDX LAN last year.
Which we got to start warming up soon.
We do. Yeah. It's going to be good. Last time I fired it up was last year. This year, I fired it up just this weekend, and it said you must create an Epic Games account if you want to play online. And I declined. Now, this will probably be a one-time exception. I have an Epic Games account. I have no games on it.
Yeah.
I haven't even taken the free ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not on it. I don't want another launcher. I don't want...
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's not a good launcher.
No.
I can't tell what games I have installed. And you know the other thing that really freaking pisses me off is that it does this fucking thing where you have an account and you go to log into it and you're like, fuck, what account was I on? Okay, is it Rett W or is it Rett is awesome or is it whatever? Okay, so you type it in, you enter your password, and what does it do? It doesn't tell you that account doesn't exist. It creates a new account.
Yeah.
You know how many Epic Games accounts I have now?
Yeah, I probably have 2 or 3 of them.
I have one for every email address just because I didn't know which email address I logged in with for the first time that has my games on it.
Yeah.
It's like Microsoft does the same damn thing. You know how many Skype accounts I have?
Yeah.
Every time I tried to log into Skype, thank God Zoom is here.
Yeah.
Click a freaking link and get into a call.
Yeah. Create a live account with your existing Gmail address. No, I don't think I will.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. It pisses me off. And it's like, dude, I just want to log into the Epic account that has all my Rocket League items that I got for playing the game for years.
Yeah.
No, okay, I'm in the one that doesn't have all my shit. Whatever, fine. Free game. What launcher is Morrowind? OpenMW, baby. I don't need a launcher.
I beat you to that, by the way.
Yeah, get on over there. You can play Morrowind on modern hardware. Let's go.
Yeah. The fact
Does Morrowind have anti-cheat? It has the best anti-cheat of all. A game that wants to be cheated.
Yeah.
The game is begging for you to cheat.
Please
Break
exploit me. Yeah.
It's called the start menu.
Anyway, Microsoft should be terrified.
Yeah, they should be.
Not only did people take this story of this is going to be a literal hellhole to operate, you're also going to need to buy new hardware, because unless you have a system with an NPU already built in capable of running Copilot, we will not let you install Windows 12. And that people just bought it hook, line, and sinker. And your chief competitor as far as operating systems go. Look, Linux fanboys, I love you. I am one too. You have to understand, unless I can go into Best Buy and buy a Linux laptop or a desktop, Linux on it as a mainstream thing is going to remain in the enthusiast niche. The Steam Deck is great. I can get onto steampowered.com and I can buy a Steam Deck. And that's the one Steam-powered device that I can buy at retail today, other than the Lenovo Legion Go, which also runs SteamOS. But those are the only two options, and those aren't exactly being sold at Best Buys. So, enjoy. You cracked 1% market share. That's where it's going to stay until mainstream adoption happens. And by mainstream adoption, I mean Asus, Lenovo, HP, Dell, etc. start selling Linux devices in retail locations, where I can walk in and walk out with a Linux-powered device. Until then,
I feel like we're that far
Mac
away.
OS is where people will go.
I don't feel like we're that far away. I feel like we're getting close.
Yeah.
I mean, every mobile device runs Linux, you know?
Right.
And a device like the Steam, what do they call that? The Steam machine, I guess, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
more devices like that, I think, are going to be...
But even then, that's like as consoleized of an experience as you
Yeah.
could possibly deliver, where it is still a plug-and-play experience. You know, the Steam machine's going to offer a desktop experience, but it's going to be very curated. As far as what applications are installed. I mean, it'll have a web browser you can get on, and you can probably do 90% of what you do now on Windows. Let's face it, 90% of what you probably do is probably in a web browser anymore.
Yeah, true.
And outside of gaming, I don't know if there's anyone who can dispute that other than specific professional endeavors.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that constantly online bullshit, but you're right.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
Well, can't wait to pay a subscription to log into my computer and ask Claude to read my email to me and log into my work for me. And
Yeah. If it could just do my job for me and I could still collect the paycheck, that'd be awesome. But something tells me that's not where the expectations lie, even though they're trying to replace me as a worker.
bastards.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Where is the money savings from AI? Why are they investing so much in AI? Because they don't want to pay wetware anymore.
They don't need us to buy things. Why would they need us to make things? You know? We're getting there. The landlords of our digital lives are coming.
They want more. This has been episode 423. Sorry for the downer outro there, but
It's not a downer. Get together with your friends, people.
get together with your friends.
Stay connected.
Yeah.
Stay frosty.
That is an excellent idea.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching episode 423 of Talking Heads right here on Craft Computing. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news, and in the month of March, cocktail news. Thank you to Meter.com for sponsoring today's episode. Link is down in the video description. Go give them a look. I need to buy more liquor for next week's show, so
Click
please.
that link. Click that link. Yeah!
One more cocktail. I will probably make one more cocktail in the after party. And if you want access to that, you got to join patreon.com/craftcomputing to get access to the exclusive Discord server. That's where we all hang out throughout the week. We keep this conversation going. We talk about all kinds of things over there. It is a fantastic community. And even though I definitely directly monetarily benefit from said community, it is one of my favorite places on the internet. If not the favorite place on the internet. Discord's the only app I ever have open 100% of the time. And it's 95% of the time on my server. So,
Woohoo!
if you're already on the Discord, you already rock. I appreciate you. Lots of cool content coming up. Like I said, got a video coming out tomorrow. We've got Intel Flex SRIOV content coming up. I'm going to be testing a new method for cloud gaming that may include every graphics card that's ever been made. Stay tuned for that. Rett and I will be down in San Jose in 2 weeks. More info coming out around that, if we're going to be hitting up any local tap houses, bars, etc. So keep your ears peeled if you live in the San Jose greater area. Other than that, Rett, anything going on? Greater order, greater good?
Nothing huge, but if you guys want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, I'm always posting updates on my Ko-Fi blog, ko-fi.com/Rett is awesome. I'm always doing my Dungeons and Dragons podcast, which is actually now a Daggerheart podcast at dndpodcast.org or daggerheartpodcast.com. And
You
yeah,
even with the .com. Look at you.
I upgraded. Well, dndpodcast.org was what was available before, but now Daggerheart was new.
Yeah.
We're at the cutting edge of their podcasts.
Excellent.
So we have a really fun actual play. It's the same vein as our D&D actual play, but it's just a slightly different game. So yeah, check that out. See what's going on, and I'll of course be back on the show when we're in San Jose. If there is a show or not, we'll make some content regardless.
Definitely. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, smash them if that's what you're into. And as always, we'll see you next week. Cheers, everyone.
Woohoo!
We did it.